Hello, my name's Lloyd and I'm from the ethical hacking community on Facebook. Before starting this video, I just want to give a bit of a shout out to my first subscriber, Dan Richards. So thank you very much. Thank you. So what I'd like to talk about today is improving your Google FOO or Google directive searches, or Google dorks. And what these are going to do are they're going to help you to search for things more effectively when you're looking for things. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to start off with a few different types of operators, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be moving through these quite quickly. So if you need to pause the video and while you're following along or anything like that, please feel free to. So the first one is the quotation marks. Now, these examples are taken from a book which I posted earlier in the group, which is Micheal Bazzell's Open Source Intelligence Techniques, the 6th edition. So I just want to say that I don't own any of this content, and I am using examples from his book, and I'm using them for the purpose of education and fair use, and nothing else. Okay, so moving on, I'll start with the quotation marks. Okay, so we'll use the author, and his name is Micheal Bazzell. Yeah. Okay, and we can see that we get 117,000 in searches. Okay, we can narrow this down by using the quotation marks, and how this works is basically what we're saying to Google when we type in just Micheal Bazzell. We're saying we want either of these words. It can be Micheal or Bazzell, anything that matches these two words, and it can be in any order. So it could be Basil Stevenson's, or Michael Robson, or Roy Basil, or Steve Michael. It doesn't matter. As long as we match these words here, it will bring something up, and the further that we go back, the less relevant the search will be. Okay, so what we're doing is we're saying Micheal and Bazzell need to be in this particular order, and that's exactly how we want to search it. It has to be these words and next to each other. Okay, immediately you can see that we've dropped nearly 100,000 results from that. So that's a handy operator. It's worth noting. Okay, so quickly moving on, I'm going to talk about the cite operator. So the cite basically says to Google, I only want you to search this site. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy his site, that's his, okay, and I'm just going to place that in. I'm going to say basically we only want to search Intel Techniques for the words Micheal and Bazzell in that particular order. Okay, and what that'll do is, as you can see, it's brought back all these different links of different pages. Okay, and they all relate to that same domain. Okay, so that is very useful if you want to search quickly just one site. Okay, so I'm going to move on very quickly. So the next thing is the file type. Okay, so file type allows you to search for a particular type of file when you're on Google. So we could say we wanted to search for, looks like I've made a typo there. I'll just correct that in a sec. So I could probably say Cisco. Okay, so things to do with Cisco, and then file type, and then we could say PDF, TXT, many other. But what I'm going to use today is the PowerPoint and the older PowerPoint format of the PPT. Okay, and what this will do is it'll say to Google, I would like things that have the word Cisco in the file type of PowerPoint. And what it's going to bring back for us is all PowerPoints that have the word Cisco located somewhere within them, that it's indexed. Okay, so you can see where this is already going to be useful, and I think that will be quite useful for anybody that's looking for particular files when doing reconnaissance. So I'm going to quickly move on again, and the next thing that I'd like to go over is the minus to remove things from searches. Okay, this will help you remove things from searches that you don't really particularly want to see. So if we go back to our friend Micheal Bazzell, and I hope I'm saying his name right for the love of God, he's probably going to murder me if he ever sees this and says you're getting my name wrong. So what we can do is, we know that this guy basically work with the police, from what I've read from the book. So let's say that wasn't something that you were interested in. You saw a name and they were to do with something that you didn't want them to be a part of. So you could have two names that were the same and somebody was the head of the police, okay, and our target is nothing to do with the police. We don't want to find someone to do with the police. What we can do is we can use the minus operator to actually drop that, and you can see that here we've got 117. So what I'm going to do is use my quotation marks, and I'm going to use minus police, okay? And what that'll do is it'll remove anything in the search that has something to do with police. Okay, and then again, I can take something else. He was part of the FBI. Okay, so we can remove FBI from the search. Okay, you can see that the number's going down as we go on. Alright, so should you need to remove something from your search, that will help you to do that. Okay, the next search that I'd like to go over with you is in URL. Okay, the in URL operator, what it does is it basically allows you to search a URL for a particular thing that you're looking for. Let's say, I don't know, in this URL, is there any WordPress sites that are available? So what we could do is we can go in URL, and let's say, I don't know, we want to use WordPress. Okay, so we'll use /WP, because that's how WordPress is usually set out, and then we can feed a site to it and say, I don't know, computer crime info.com, which is an example I'm using out of the book here. And what this will do is it'll say, okay, computercrimeinfo.com, is there any sites that are related to that in the URL that have WordPress attached to it? Okay, and what we can see is that we're actually given sites that have WordPresses attached to them. Okay, so that can be very handy when you're doing some reconnaissance to look for vulnerabilities. The next one I'd like to move on to is in title and all in title. So the only difference between these two is that all in title just works the same as the quotation marks. It's basically saying everything that's all within the title has to be in that particular order. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take an example from the book, and what I'm going to say is in title I'm going to say, let's say, so in this particular order with the quotation marks, OSINT, which is Open Source Intelligence Training, video training. Okay, video training. Alright, so I'm going to click enter, and you can see that it's brought back in the title that particular thing. So say if you were searching for something in the title, and you can also say all in title, and what will happen is it will bring it back in that particular order. So it has to be in that particular order, okay? Which is handy for you if you're looking for something within a site title. What I'd like to also look for is using the OR operator, okay? So the OR operator, what it does is it basically says you can search this or you can search this. Okay, so going back to the book author again. Okay, keep spelling his name wrong. He's going to love me. So what we could say is you can search for Micheal Bazzel, or say if you were searching for somebody and they had a nickname, and you wanted to search for the nickname as well because you knew that name was associated to them, you could say Mike to see if there's anything that had that particular. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put around them, because obviously I want to search for that particular word in each one. And the OR operator, excuse me, needs to be in uppercase. And what that'll do is it'll search for both the words. It'll search for Mike Bazzel or Micheal Bazzel. Okay, so that will help you cluster searches together. Okay, if you need to find two things that are similar or have the same meaning, you can cluster searches together. I just wanted to talk about a couple of others. So you could say use the asterisk operator, and what that does is it's a wildcard, and a wildcard basically allows you to search with anything within that string. So you could say, for example, OSINT, and then something, wildcard. It could be anything you like because you're not sure, and then training. Okay, just bear with me because my spelling is absolutely horrendous. And now what this will do is it'll say, okay, I want to search for OSINT, and then it can be anything here. It could be whatever, and then training. We click enter, and what that will do for you is it will search for in a particular order. So it's added advanced practitioner. So what you're finding here is you can use this to, if you're not quite sure what you're looking for exactly, to create a wildcard between two things that you are certain of. Okay. The other thing that you can do is the range operator, and the range operator allows you to search for something within a range. So what we could say is something like Bonnie Woodward. Okay. And I'll close that off. And then I want to look for, say, between 1, and then we're going to use the range operator, which is 2 dots, between 1 and 99, or 999, should I say, comments. Okay. And just change that. Excuse me, it's just the formatting's changed again. Okay, that's it. And give me a second. What that will do, just need to close that gap off there, is it will basically look for within a range. Okay, so it's going to say this particular person, and then within 1 to 999 comments within a certain page, or within a page, it will look for that. Okay, so that could be helpful. So the range operator, like I say, is just 2. Just highlight it for you. It's just 2 dots. Okay, just 2 dots, and that allows you to search for a range of something. Okay. The last one I wanted to talk about is the related operator, and the related operator, it can be very useful because obviously it collects domain information and basically shows information about things that are sort of related that you can't directly see at first glance. So 2 domains might be related to each other, and you may not actually know that, but using this operator you can find related domains. Okay, so if we use his book, very bad spelling, okay, and we can go here, and you can see computer crime info is a related domain of open source intelligence, and there's other related domains here, so that will help you effectively. So I just wanted to go through that with you about using searches, and this should help you to find information a little bit more quickly. Alright, that's me signing off. I hope this video really helps, and I'll see you in the next one.